Alright, so I have a computer here. Pretty much I just got in. Guy just came in and just dropped it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you pretty much what happened to this machine. He comes in, says that pretty much he needed some software installed, like a licensing updates. He had everything that I needed to get the job done, so I ended up doing that real quick. Then he also has a ticket. He also has an Outlook issue, said it's not opening, and he also states that he can't get to the intranet site when he's off site. Those of you do not know what the intranet is. If the intranet is, I'm going to try to explain it in a way that you can understand it. I'm not going to give you the technical term of pretty much, because sometimes people don't just understand the technical term. So pretty much the intranet is pretty much it's like a website that you can access while you're in like the area, like while you're at the company. It's like a company personal website per se. I'll put the actual definition of intranet in the description, but to further explain it, you can only access it when you're on the company's network. You can't access it when you're outside the network unless you're connected with VPN. So he was saying that he cannot connect to the intranet when he's outside of work. So I ended up having to explain to him why he couldn't connect to it. So once he had a grasp of understanding of that he was okay with that. He was saying that his Outlook was not coming up, so I ended up having to go in to see if anything is messing up. The issue mainly resides on the OST. You could have a bad OST. That's pretty much your Outlook profile. Pretty much you can delete that profile. Even though they don't say delete it, you can just rename it just to keep it there, but I like to delete it because I don't need to go back to it, because if it's corrupted, why do I still need it per se? If someone can give me a great explanation why I need to rename these OSTs, please let me know. In situations like that, I just delete them, because if it's corrupted, it needs to be deleted. Half of the time, sometimes in Outlook, that when the user uses it for long periods of time, the OST becomes big. And what happens is, the bigger that it gets, the more likely that your Outlook will start crashing more often because of the OST. I've seen OSTs get as big as like 14 to 20 gigs big, and I've seen them get 40 gigabytes big. And then, you know, it causes their computer to slow down. Microsoft, please do something about that. Like, I don't know why they made it that way. Pretty much you either rename it or delete it, and then you let it rebuild again until they get big like that. I think it stores like a cache, pretty much. Like it has like your profile setting, so occasionally you got to delete it, otherwise you're going to keep having issues with Outlook. Moving along, so pretty much his wireless driver was not working. When first thing I look at, like when they say they can't connect to anything, the first thing I look at is your internet settings. I see if you are able to connect to the wireless, or I plug it up to see, you know, if you're able to connect wired. I recommend that people, when they're at their desk, to connect wired. You'll be surprised how many people actually try to challenge me on, oh, the wireless is faster. No, the wireless is convenient because you don't want to plug it up. Let's just be honest. I tell them, like, just connect wired. It's faster, and you got a direct connection. You don't have to worry about, you know, clogging other wireless. You don't have to worry about it going down or anything like that. You can just easily just connect. The only time people should be using wireless is like when they're in conference rooms and stuff like that, or like when they out and about, pretty much in the conference room. So right now I'm checking, and what I found was that his wireless driver pretty much wasn't installed. It had a big red X on it. Sometimes it could be disabled, sometimes it could be just can't connect. Looked and checked to see if the wireless signal was there. It wasn't. So I ended up I'm reinstalling his wireless driver right now. So what I typically do is, when I check for drivers that's not installed, just a precaution, and this is a Dell computer, by the way. When I check their computer, I always check for drivers that's missing. And any driver that comes up in the detection on the Dell website, I make sure I update all the drivers. I don't just go for the driver that I need, because I don't want them having to come back and say, hey, my chipset is out of date, or my BIOS is out of date. Sometimes the video driver can be out of date. So what I do is I update every driver. I I do that as a precaution. That way they're all set, they're good. I mean, the next time they should come back for any driver issue, it should be for a while. Make sure I download every driver that's pertaining to the service tag. It's missing, and you know exactly what you need, and you know which drivers is out of date and everything like that. So that's just my recommendation on when you get someone's computer. Always just check for things that does not look normal. You may come across something that you probably missed, and they'll be coming back to bother you. All right, so I'm just giving you guys a quick tip on pretty much what I go through when I'm doing this desktop support stuff. So hope I explain a little thing, like little tips here and there about stuff. And with that being said, let's resume the blog.